I feel like this book tries to be too many things at once. We've come to the end of March, and I must say March was a difficult month for me to read. I only finished reading 2 books. Those books were It's a Mess by Rose Mphahlele and Hamba Sugar Daddy. I also wanted to try read Siren by Cooley Roberts, but I really struggled with reading this month, and I want to highlight Hamba Sugar Daddy. So I pulled out this book because I was just looking through my shelves and I really needed something light to read, and I chose Hamba Sugar Daddy because it's a book that I had paged through a few years ago, but I didn't finish reading it, and so I thought, let me read it this time. And the cover. So I thought the cover gave me an idea of what the story was going to about. I knew it wasn't going to be an intense story just based on the cover. You know, we judge a book by its cover. And let me read you the synopsis. Set against the backdrop of a contemporary black South African township, Hamba Sugar Daddy and follows the torturous journey of Ramabulana, an 18-year-old born free, who has to decide whether to follow her head or her heart. Her choices become what she sows now and reaps later. This is written by Nape'a Motana. And it took me a long time to get through this book because it's not a hard book to read, but I really wasn't engaged with the story. I think from now on, I'm not reading any more stories about sugar daddies, etc., etc. The writing was okay. It was easy to get through, but I find that authors from this canon like throwing in like idioms, like little tidbits of knowledge as they are writing. But I think this is something that I could attribute to only writers from this canon. I think today's writers don't do it as much, and I'm glad that they don't. So the story, because of friends, Rolly, they call her Rolly for short, she gets involved with a sugar daddy, and this man within a month has already extended her home, has already bought her mother furniture. And I thought that was rather outlandish, because do you meet somebody and then within a month they've already transformed your life to that extent? And so her mother really encourages her to stay with this man even when she's had enough, because she realizes that she actually doesn't enjoy being with this man. What I rather find peculiar is that the man that Rolly gets involved with apparently owns a shop within the same area. However, it seems like she doesn't know him, or the wife of this man doesn't know Rolly at all, or what her husband gets up to. And Rolly's friend encourages her to just keep going with this man because she's benefiting. But Rolly feels that she cannot be involved with this man, and so she just pulls herself away from this man. And throughout this book, this man is trying to get back with her. This man confesses her love to her, tells her that she is going to buy her a Porsche when she passes matric. I feel like this book tries to be too many things at once. I think there's a part where it wants to impart knowledge. There's a part where it wants to be a social commentary on what is currently happening in South Africa with the youth. There was a lot going on. I think that's why it took me so long to get into the book. And even when I was deep in the book, I was just thinking, where is this going to happen? What is going to happen next? And then it also has a spiritual and religious element to it, where there's scriptures being shared, and Rolly befriends this very holy Christian girl within her school, and this girl just keeps encouraging her to leave a situation. God will make a plan. And then at some point they devise a play which is shown to the Department of Education about the exact story. So there's like an inception going on. There's a story within the story, and then this story is captured as a play which is shown to other learners and people from the Department of Education. There was just a lot going on with this book. I feel like it could have been whittled down. Another round of editing could have been added here to just take some parts out and to make the story flow, because it just was there was a lot going on and I struggled to get through it. And it's really not a hard book to read, but I just feel like there was an important message here that just didn't land because of the many things that are happening with this book, and I feel like it loses the reader at some point. And overall, I think I would give this book a 2 out of 5. Let me know if you've read Hamba Sugar Daddy. There's another book that this author has written called Funny Furi's Lobola. So I think I watched the movie to that. I would like to get the book. But looking at the reviews also of this particular book, I don't think this was a book that was received well. And yeah, if you have read this book, let me know your thoughts. If you would like to read this book also, let me know, because I am going to add it to the catalog.